Hey guys, what's up? LA Cubers here, and in today's video we're going to be doing a 3x3 comparison of what's best on the market. So I have 8 3x3s here, and I'm going to be comparing them and showing you guys what cubes are the best on the market right now. And before I get into the video, last video I did a 3x3 cube help video on how to become sub 20. And somebody in the comments requested a cube help video, and I will be doing that, but I'm not sure what barrier it would be, if it's a tutorial or something. So if you're watching this, let me know in the comments what kind of cube video you want me to do, and I will be doing it. So before I compare all the specific cubes, I'm just gonna go over the brands that I think are the top brands on the market right now, and these aren't in any specific order, but Moyu is definitely a really good brand. Chi, that's also a really good brand. Gans, and that's basically it. Those are probably the best brands. But now getting into cubes, we'll start off with this Gans 356. This is a little bit of an old cube, and it still performs pretty well, but there are other GAN cubes that are newer and I've heard a lot about, and they're better. So like the Gans Air SM and the Gans Air UM are really good, I've heard, but this cube might be a little bit out of date, but those other newer GAN puzzles, I think those are definitely good main contenders. So also I have this Goguan Yuexiao. This cube is also a little bit old, and I also have the Goguan Yuexiao Pro, which is newer, but right now this Goguan Yuexiao is not as good as Best Puzzles, but it definitely is a really good cube, but there are just better options. So here is the second version of the Goguan Yuexiao, is the Goguan Yuexiao Pro. This is my main right now, but and it's really good. Sometimes there is pops. I've had a few pops on this, so that's a little bit of a problem. But overall, this cube is very good. I like the flexible feeling of this, and there's no magnets in here, so that's why I like the flexible feeling of this cube, because that brings us to our next cube, is this Moyu Weilong GTS V2 M. So the reason why I switched to this Goguan Yuexiao Pro instead of this is because for this cube it was a little bit restricted with the turning because of the magnets. This is still a really good cube, and it's my backup main, but it's just not as flexible and it's more restricted than the Yuexiao Pro. So that's this cube, and now we have the Chi Thunderclap. So this cube is also pretty good, and it's also really cheap, so that's also really good, and it performs really well when it's lubed and set up. But one of my friends has a Thunderclap, and he didn't lube his, and his is really slow. So if you are going to get this, then I would recommend having lube and lubing it, or else it could get pretty slow and sluggish, and it won't be that good anymore. And it is a little bit old, but it still is good. Now we have this Weilong GTS V1. This cube is alright. Is also old too. Is pretty old, and I wouldn't recommend this that much, because it is pretty old. There's a lot of better choices, and yeah, it's just not that good with turning. It's not as flexible, and I've been liking more flexible cubes lately because I don't know, I'm just starting to like the different feel. But now we have this MF3RS. So this is a very good cube and it is super cheap. So this is honestly one of my favorite cubes because it's so cheap and it's so good. I lubed this and it is super speedy. It may be a little bit loose, but I sort of like the tensions. I'll tension it if I have to, but right now I really like this cube. And the Cubicle came out with their magnetic edition, the Cubicle Labs MF3RS, and I've heard that cube is really good. So that cube is also cheap, is $23. So if you want to get the more expensive option, then you could get that, but do keep in mind they do magnetize the cube and lube it and fully set it up. They'll sticker it with whatever color scheme you want. So yeah, I think it'll be pretty worth it if you get that. But if you just get the stock version and you lube it yourself, it'll still be fine. And even if you don't have lube, this is still a very amazing cube because I don't know, it's really flexible and it's just so cheap. I like it, and a lot of people also really like it. So the last cube here that I have is the Volk 3. This is the Cubicle Premium version. So they lubed it for me, and right now I'm using this cube as my OH main, but it's also really good for two-hand solving as well. But yeah, not much to say about this. It is really good though, and it was my main for a while, and if I didn't get any newer cubes, then this would still probably be my main. And it's really fast and controllable, so that's what I like about it. I say it's at an average price point. It's not too high, but it's not too low. I know that the GANS puzzles are pretty high price, and some of them aren't that good, but I think the GANS Air SM is definitely worth it from what I've heard. I don't have one, I haven't tried it, but it definitely sounds good. So hopefully I could get it soon though. But yeah, the Volk 3, it's still really good, and a lot of people still use it as their main. It's not that old, and it's really good. So now for these cubes of recommending which ones you should get nowadays. So I wouldn't really recommend this Weilong GTS V1. It's not very good. I don't know, the turning isn't as good as other cubes, so I wouldn't recommend this. The GANS 356, I wouldn't recommend that one too much because there's just better GANS puzzles out there if you want a GANS puzzle. So I think you should just get a different GANS puzzle or a different company. If you are looking to get a new 3x3, I wouldn't recommend this because it's also old too. This Gogwan Yuexiao, I don't really recommend this one either because it's also old. They have a Gogwan Yuexiao Pro, which is better than this, a lot better, so I would just get something else. Now for this Thunderclap, I actually really like this even though it is old, but I still like it, and the Cubicle set it up very well. So I think if you get the Cubicle Premium version, then it'll be worth it. But if you just get the stock version, you could get a better price for a better cube, like the MF3RS. So that's also the next cube that I definitely would recommend this because it's so cheap. It's a good budget cube, and it's like, it doesn't even feel like a budget cube. It's so good, so I would definitely recommend this. So for the Volk 3, definitely would recommend this also. is very good. Lots of people use it as their main, and world records have been broken with this cube. Obviously not this exact cube, but other Valk 3s. So now this Moyu Weilong GTS V2M, I would recommend it. It's pretty good. The magnets aren't too heavy and they're not too light. You don't feel it that much while you turn, but it's really good, so I would recommend it. And the Gogwan UHCR Pro, of course I would definitely recommend this. It's my main, and it is a very good cube, so I would definitely recommend it. I've broken very many PBs on it. Actually not that many, but I've gotten lots of sub 10s with this cube. I'm improving a lot with this cube, and yeah, I've broken 2 averages of 5 with this cube, so I think that is a really good cube, and you should definitely get it if you don't have it, because it is at a sort of cheap price. It's more mid-range. It's not a budget cube, but it's also not super expensive. So I would get this if you have the money and if you're looking for a new 3x3. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed. The link to our Instagram will be in the description if you want to follow us. And I'll see you all next time.